Brandon, college football, Whysman, who should we be talking about more?
Well, we still don't really have a Heisman leader. We have some guys that are up there in odds, but we don't really have somebody who's grabbed the Heisman by the neck and said, this is my award, everybody get behind me. So we look at games this weekend, who could jump up, who could have a big game. I look at, there's your odds right there with Fernando Mendoza leading it.
Heisman Mendoza.
Behind it, Julian Sayin, Diego Pavia. And then the guy I want to talk about first with a big opportunity this weekend, Marcel Reed at Texas A&M. This guy's thrown for 15 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 1,700 yards. He's been very good. He had the big win. He was awesome in the big win against Notre Dame. Now, in conference, he hasn't had the opportunity to have a gigantic look-at-me game because they haven't played anybody. They played Florida, they played Auburn, they played Mississippi State, they played Arkansas. So he's putting up points, but they haven't mattered yet. Well, where does it matter? In Baton Rouge against a desperate team this Saturday, an LSU team who might be ready to throw in the towel or might be ready to rally. We'll find out when they get there Saturday. But if Marcel Reed goes into Baton Rouge and he puts up 30-plus points, he puts up 300 yards, he puts up 3 touchdowns, I think you really have to move him up from that number 5 spot in odds in the Heisman. You really have to start looking. They'll be 8-0 at that point, and he'll be very good. So Marcel Reed is my Whysman number 1. Whysman number 2, Julian Sayin. And Julian Sayin is very interesting because I believe, pound for pound, he's probably been the best quarterback in the country this year. He has just been incredible. What percent of passes do you think he's completing?
I'm going to say 80%.
80% of his passes.
To be clear, guys, it says on the screen. It's absurd. It's an absurd number. That is like,
80% of his passes.
I don't want to be flippant about
He's
that.
thrown for 300 yards 4 times. Now, listen, he is a Ferrari that they only take out of the garage every now and then. They are not exactly trying to stretch the field and dominate offensively. They're doing it when they can't, when every now and then they'll do it and they'll show off and they'll flex. Otherwise, they're just getting a lead. They're throwing the defense out on the field and saying, hey, dare you to come catch us. And he has been absolutely incredible this year in the spurts where they have allowed him to play. If down the stretch of the season they really open things up, I think he put up mind-boggling numbers and run away with the Heisman, especially given the fact the last 2 games will be against Michigan on the road and then the Big Ten title game. I think this might be the smartest bet on the board for the Heisman Trophy.
Okay. They are just kind of beating the hell out of everybody. Huh?
They're just beating the hell out of everybody.
The Wisconsin game, I think his first quarter stats were like 14 of 16 for 170. I think a couple tuds in there, and then they were just like, okay, that's it.
He literally looks like if you ever just seen like a 7-on-7 clip.
Yeah.
It just looks like 7-on-7 football when Ohio State's offense is on.
They're getting up 20 and they're shutting it down.
Does that though take away at all? Like you said, Ohio State quarterbacks just throwing to wide open receivers. Like they're and you mentioned,
but he's not. You say he is, but he's not. If you look on,
you said he was.
I know.
You said that's what Ohio State quarterbacks do.
I said Justin Fields. That throw was to a wide open receiver.
So what I'm saying is, though, you're calling up what is a larger perception, right? Which is kind of that Ohio State is just sleepwalking. I mean, actually, I want to have the Ohio State conversation later. Let's get to the third Whysman.
He does have the best receivers in the country, but he's still delivering, and he's still playing it. We've seen Ohio State when there's been a mediocre quarterback, and it hasn't really worked out. Anyway, my third guy, and you know my third guy because my third guy is right on the tip of my tongue, and here's my third guy. I'm
hey now.
Exactly who it is.
How many guys are on your tongue?
Of course, Arizona State wide receiver Jordan Tyson. We talk about Jeremiah Smith. We talk about Ryan Williams at Alabama. Nobody talks about Jordan Tyson as much. If you saw the win against Texas Tech, when it got down to the nitty-gritty at the end, Sam Leavitt just focused, all right, I'm going to get it to Jordan Tyson as many times as I can. We're going to win the game. 57 catches. He's third in the country in catches. He's got 8 touchdowns. He's second in touchdowns. This guy is as playmaker gets. That's the big play in the final drive to take him down and win the game. It was just, he's their guy. He's one of the best receivers in the country, and nobody talks about him like that. If you're looking for a Heisman flyer, I don't know that he can win it, but I think with the Big 12 is going to be back and forth all the way to the end. I think Jordan Tyson is as good a player as there is in the country.
He has a chance. I was thinking about Jeremiah Love, but Notre Dame's going to have no big stages.
Well, I said him last week, and then he went out and delivered.
And he was awesome, but there's no big stages left for him, I don't think. Gunnar Stockton's kind of a name maybe to keep an eye on because he shows up. Stu, who are you keeping an eye on? Heisman.
I think Ty Simpson. I think Alabama is really playing over their skis.
Yeah.
And they're dangerous right now. I mean, after getting embarrassed early and almost being written off, all they've done is win, 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 win.
Yeah.
And they have a solid team all the way around. Their O-line is giving him a ton of time. He's extremely smart. He makes every tough throw. He makes every easy throw. I mean, obviously he's chalk, but I think Simpson is the play.
I look back at
So no Mendoza, though.
He's amazing. He's unbelievable. It's Apple. It's right there. But if you're putting me against the wall right now, I'm betting Tyson.
Yeah, and again, Mendoza's going to struggle. We'll look at this in a second. But the Indiana and Ohio State schedules are there's just nothing left.
Indiana's basically finished.
Yeah,
No, they're done until the
Yeah, they have nothing left. I mean, that Big Ten schedule is so soft. And
Undefeated
fun.
UCLA.
All right, then. It's true. Let's dominoes. Let's talk about. Let's play the take your pick game. Take your pick game. College football playoff. I know. Sorry.
You okay?
We have. So our producer Jer Bear is objectively pretty dumb.
Right.
But every now and then he does something smart, and he has tried to compare two teams that are kind of on equal footing, and we have to choose who we believe in more to potentially make the playoffs. Or maybe just believe in more, because there's some of these where I don't think either one makes it. And let's start with what I think is an example of that. Michigan or Tennessee? Who do you trust more right now?
To make the playoff?
Again,
You just told me the Jer Bear, as you called him, had a smart moment. This is the dumbest question ever. Neither one of these teams is trusted. These teams stink.
Yes.
What are we doing? Michigan or Tennessee?
I agree. I say neither, but if you had to pick one, because they're both still
If I
alive.
had to pick one,
They're both still alive.
I'm picking a 3-year-old child to win a dunk contest here. What am I doing? Michigan or Tennessee? Michigan or Tennessee? Tennessee still got. If I got probably Tennessee. Better coach, more seasoned quarterback. Michigan has Ohio State left on the schedule. Tennessee does not have Ohio State left on the schedule. Now, I know Michigan has owned that rivalry lately, but it's got to flip at some point, right? So I would go Tennessee. Tennessee's not making the playoff, but I would trust them more than Michigan.
Boys?
I think Michigan has the path to 9-2, and then, like you said, if they just own Ryan Day like they have in the past, I think a 10-2 Michigan with a win over the number one team in the country is getting in the playoffs.
Well, they're in, if they do that.
Yes, a 10-2 Big Ten team will almost assuredly be in, no matter what, in many cases. Griff, what do you think?
Yeah, and I do think Michigan found a little bit of something in that game against Washington over the weekend. Maybe they keep that going moving forward. But Tennessee, to your point, Brandon, I think they play Oklahoma and then Vanderbilt the last week of the season, both at home. They don't have to play the number one team in the country. I would roll Tennessee.
I think Tennessee's the wrong answer here. I think
Really?
their defense sucks so bad.
It does suck.
That it makes them so brittle. And you saw it the other day. They have a puncher's chance because of how good the offense is. But if you catch him on the chin, you can knock him out, because the defense will just continue to get dominated the entire game. So, yeah, no, I would go Michigan here.
Yeah, but Michigan has gotten, you look at Tennessee's 2 losses. They lost on the road at Alabama. Tennessee lost at home to Georgia. Michigan, when they have lost, they have just looked like they didn't belong on the field with USC and Oklahoma.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's fair.
Their offense stinks.
It's getting better. It's conservative style that plays error-free. It's like playing ping pong against someone, and you just keep returning it and bank on them hitting it out.
That's boring.
I agree. Notre Dame or Texas Tech?
They're both making the playoffs. So if I had to, I would say
But you got to choose one.
I would say Notre Dame. Notre Dame. You want to talk about somebody who's put the hay in the barn already? Getting through USC pretty much locks it up for them. They're going to go 10-2 to me. I don't see who's going to beat them. Is at Pitt going to beat them? Like, that's the only one. I think Notre Dame is going to get to the finish line at 10-2. They only have losses to Miami on the road and to Texas A&M, who's a playoff team. So I like them. I think Texas Tech's also going to make it because they're the class of the Big 12, even though they lost last week. They're the class of the Big 12. They're going to make it, but I would say Notre Dame out of these two.
Yeah, Notre Dame's done it. Texas Tech, the loss gives them no margin of error.
So you think 10-2 Notre Dame over 10-2 Texas Tech? Because I think that's what will probably happen if they are both 10-2. The committee will lean Notre Dame.
They're going to be real.
But is that fair? Is it fair to lean Notre Dame over Texas Tech?
Well, Texas
they're both
Tech's,
10-2?
well, Texas Tech's record could get weird, though, because they'll probably play in the conference championship game. So you could be looking at 11-2.
Who are we calling the Big 12 champ in this scenario?
I mean, we got undefeated BYU. I mean, Cincinnati's hanging around. I mean, there's plenty of opportunity for teams in the Big 12 to step up and make the conference championship.
If we're talking at large, 10-2 Notre Dame, 10-2 Texas Tech, and Notre Dame's 2 losses are to Miami and Texas A&M, I think Notre Dame's getting that spot.
Yeah, yeah. All right, next on the list. These are a little bit random. South Florida or Louisville? I think there's a little disrespect to Tulane here, but that's fine as far as group of 5 teams go. I love Jeff Brom. Obviously, he's incredible in these top 5 matchups, but Louisville just seems to slip up.
They already have.
I know they already did against Virginia, obviously. And so I guess by default, I'm going to go South Florida here.
But that one loss has aged pretty nicely, though, to
Yeah.
Virginia.
Yeah.
And the common opponent here, South Florida and Louisville of Miami. I mean, South Florida got trounced by Miami. So, I don't know. I kind of lean Louisville. Also because I still have faith in Miller Moss, as we talked about.
Louisville.
Yeah, Louisville's got insane weapons in Isaac Brown and Chris Bell.
Yes.
Just 2 absolute speed demons on the outside and in the backfield. South Florida is in a tricky spot because I think everyone kind of anointed them the G5 team at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
That American is tough, and they still kind of have to play each other the way
They
it's
got
lined
Memphis
up.
this weekend. I know Memphis is coming off the loss, but that's just going to make them more
That's
desperate.
Dangerous
Yeah.
spot, man. It's a really dangerous spot. I would pick Louisville out of these two because I'm just going to make the exact same point he just made. I feel like we anointed South Florida as the G5 leader, and that gauntlet they got to run for the rest of the season through that conference is tough.
Final one, real quick here, guys. Virginia or Oklahoma? I think this is actually easy. I think it's Virginia just because Oklahoma's schedule is impossible.
Yeah.
They have 5 ranked teams left. They got Ole Miss. They're at Tennessee, at Alabama, home against Mizzou, and then home against LSU, who will likely not be ranked by that time. But still, that's a brutal finish to the year.
That is an absolutely ridiculous. Oklahoma could sue the SEC for the schedule.
Yeah.
For the schedule that Texas got handed when they came to the conference, and the schedule Oklahoma got handed. Oklahoma should sue the SEC. I think they would win. The answer is Virginia. I had them as my surprise team in the country coming into the season. They can. Huh?
Say, wow, look at you.
Well, I have to take my wins when I can get it because I had Penn State winning the national championship, so give me the Virginia win. Listen, I think Virginia, they can score points. They've got that one loss. It doesn't matter in the conference, but somehow it matters. Whatever. It's Virginia. Wide open ACC.
All
They have
right.
a very easy path.
And Jake Malasek on their side.
But yeah, and Jake convinced me to put a Chandler Morris Heisman bet in. It's going to make us a lot of money when it hits. That's all I know.
Can
Coming
I
up
just chime
next.
in for one
Yeah,
second?
yeah, come on.
I am on my knees, literally. Every morning, I'm on my knees to pray. That's how I
to
start.
pray,
I
okay.
do my prayers and meditation. But I am on my knees praying that some way, somehow, Michigan can beat Ohio State because our king, the boss, Dave Portnoy, would just literally be on fire with content.
No, we cannot.
And his condescending content to the world when Michigan is on top, similar to how the Patriots are on top right now, is second to none. I just love it. I love putting a smile on him.
Because you don't have to be around him, Stu. You don't have to deal with him on a week-to-week basis like we do.
Patriot
Understood.
Dave.
That's true. I'm a fan by afar. I watch him on my phone. But God, is he electric when Michigan really rolls.
Bro.
And you won't be able to contain. He'll buy another 3 houses for $30 million just for kicks. I mean, come on, baby. Let's go, Michigan. You gotta beat Ohio State. For the company, for Dave Portnoy.
No.
He deserves it.
Dude, stop. Do not put that into the universe, dude.
He deserves
Dealing
it.
with Patriot Dave is enough. We don't need Michigan Dave being able to victory lap Bryce Underwood beating Ohio State again. Okay, let's go to break.